Okay, they have plants here in this country, but they do not make this engine. Okay, these engines are made for Piaggio in Italy, but these engines are manufactured.
I'm with Craig from the Golden Gate Bridge District, and Craig, you've been showing me these vehicles that get 81 miles to the gallon on what you call biofuel. Now, you make it here with this device, and can you explain the difference between biofuel and diesel?
Okay, biofuel is that fuel that does not use methanol and lye, uses other methods of manufacturing the fuel. There's also algae process that's used, that's called biofuel. Biodiesel always uses methanol and lye as part of its process, and it also goes into a cooking process where you're heating the oil to basically strip the glycerin out of it. With an algae fuel biofuel or an oil biofuel, you just add additives to it. Basically, with that biofuel, everything that you mix or you manufacture goes into the tank, and none of it is used as a waste product that you need to dispose of. It all goes into the tank. And that's one of the advantages and also the differences between these different types of fuels.
Now, can you take me through the operation of this device?
Absolutely.
You know, you said it starts here at this waste collection.
It starts at the waste collection facility, and basically you're going to go to a restaurant and you're going to basically pull the oil out of their drums. So when you're pulling that oil out of their drums or their vat, this is a rough screen filter, picks up whether it's calamari legs or or French fries or whatever. The oil comes out of here. It comes into this unit right here. Basically comes into this unit right here. The pump pushes the oil through. You can see the flow arrows, pushes it through, comes up to my first filter, which is a 20 micron filter. Catches all the heavy sediment that the screen doesn't get. It works its way through to the 10 micron filter. It goes into the 5 micron filter, and then the 1 micron filter, and then out. And from there, it becomes fuel that you can use straight vegetable oil, or put it into a tank, another set of tanks to go ahead and process as fuel when I add my additives to this particular fuel. The reason the gauges are on this unit is it tells me when it's time to change the filters, and it does that by basically the pressure comes up higher and it tells me that the filters are being clogged. Naturally, the 20 micron filter is the heaviest filter and takes most of the abuse. So that filter gets changed out more frequently. These filter elements basically cost about $1 per element, and they will process approximately 500 gallons of fuel before they need to be changed out.
Now, you must be saving the Bridge District quite a bit of money by producing your own fuel like this. Has anyone made a calculation of about how much money you're saving?
Well, the bridge, basically this is a research project that I've taken on myself. All the work is done by me, whether it's oil collection or fuel mixing, it's all done by me. The bridge basically pays for the additives that I use, which is cetane boost and some material they use in the larger tanks to dry up water, absorb water, and impurities in the tank. Okay, so those materials, basically the calculation there is the cost in materials is 48 cents per gallon.
Wow.
Okay, with diesel at almost $5 a gallon, you can see that this is kind of an energy-saving adventure. And I will process anywhere from 100 to 300 gallons a week. If I had more oil and I had the time to process more oil, I could probably burn 500 to 700 gallons a week. But I burn just what I can process. Now,
this fuel is being used in vehicles that are transporting bridge workers. Can you take me over to one of the vehicles and?
Absolutely. So this is one of the scooters that we use. This is Piaggio Ape out of Italy, Pontedera, Italy. I currently have 20 of these vehicles in the fleet, and all of them run on my vegetable oil fuel mix, which I called a vegetable oil on steroids. So all of these vehicles are run on that unit. What makes this particular unit we call X1, which is experimental unit. It has bigger rims, bigger tires on this unit, and then we also, on this unit, it has a total of 2 fuel tanks. We have a startup fuel tank, which is the vegetable oil with the additives, and then it has a second fuel tank that has a heat exchanger in it. And what that does is we use the water cooling from this particular engine and it heats up a heat exchanger in its second tank. Once it gets to 150 degrees of water temperature, it basically shuts off the main tank with the vegetable oil with its additives and puts straight vegetable oil. Straight vegetable oil that's just filtered. There's no additives or anything in this tank. The engine actually, when it goes onto the straight vegetable oil, will increase the RPMs by 200 RPM, and the engine actually changes sound, and it actually gets quieter. It's
amazing.
Yes.
Now, do you see consumer viability for this type of vehicle? In other words, do you see it breaking into the market, the auto business in this country? I mean, we need this type of vehicle now, and how practical is this for the average commuter?
Absolutely. These vehicles and this particular process works fine on these vehicles. Where we're at right now with this process is this country right now is processing about 1.7 million barrels of used vegetable oil a day. They're either making biofuels or biodiesel. It's mainly biodiesel because there's so many people like me who are just very small operators making fuel in a very small way, or a large way, whatever you want to call it. But they're processing 1.7 million barrels a day. The biodiesel industry is getting bigger and bigger. These plants are making anywhere from 10 to 50 million gallons a year, and that's only going to increase. The reason that the manufacturers of these engines are right now saying that you can only run 20% into the mix or 5% into the mix is because there is no ASTM or an American standard that actually defines what biodiesel consists of. Gasoline has its own standard, and same with diesel has its own standard. Once they're working on a process now, the standard is called BQ 9000, which will probably be in effect by the end of this year or the first part of next year. Once that BQ 9000 is out, these car manufacturers and truck manufacturers will up the amounts or limits that you can use of these biodiesels. Okay.
Wow.
Once they do that, because these engines will run on that, so you'll start to see you'll be able to run 50%, 60 or 70%. I have other vehicles at the bridge. This is 100% mix. I have tow trucks that are running Caterpillar diesels. I have Kubota engines. I have Cummins diesel engines on air compressors, large air compressors. Again, Caterpillar diesels in the tow trucks. The Kubotas that are in my small engine vehicles, diesel vehicles. So pretty much any of these vehicles will run on vegetable oil or vegetable oil mix. The big thing is getting the stuff heated up and lowering the viscosity so that you can go ahead and use these oils.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's good to know that the Golden Gate Bridge District is working on this too. Thanks a lot for your work.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Yeah, it's a fun project. It's something I enjoy doing, and I basically do it on my own, pretty much on my own. I collect the oil myself, and I also process the oil. I usually do it after 3:30 in the afternoon. And whether it's 30 gallons of fuel or 300 gallons of fuel, it takes about 35 minutes, 40 minutes to put the additive into it. If it's some of my vehicles just run straight vegetable oil, it's just a matter of filtering, and it doesn't take long to do that.
Amazing. It's truly amazing. Well, thanks, Craig.
Sure. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks a lot.